Hi everyone, Mark here from Visual Pro Detailing. So today we're going to be talking about deep cleaning wheels and what that entails. Now you can just wash your wheels with soap and water, but sometimes if there's a little bit of neglect, if you have brake pads that put off a lot of brake dust, that's simply not going to do it. So we've got a wash bucket over here that's got all my dedicated wheel brushes and wash mitt to it, and I use these exclusively for wheels. I've got a hard brush that I'm going to use this for scrubbing the tire with, and then I have an assortment of wheel woolies that make cleaning the barrels, which is the inside of the wheel, very easy, and a long boar's hair brush. This is actually a wheel woolly brand as well. For the cleaners I'm going to be using for this, I've got some W6 iron remover from Gtechniq that I'm going to be using to break down some of the iron particles that are on the wheels. These are older wheels. It's an older car I've had for many years, and I was not a detailer when I first got this car, so it's got a little bit of neglect on it. We're going to try to get as much of that off as we can. And we've got some 3D yellow degreaser that I'm going to be using to clean the tires as well. First of all, whenever you're deep cleaning wheels, what you want to do is spray the products directly onto the surface. I don't want to pre-wet the wheel, because if I do, it's going to dilute my product, and I've got my own dilutions that I'm going to be using. I don't want the water to dilute it for me. I want my products to be used appropriately for the substrate that I'm using. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spray the W6 on the wheel, and I'm going to spray some in the barrel here. And that's going to quickly, you can start to see down here where it's already breaking down the iron particles that are on the wheel. And I'm going to give that a minute, and while I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3D orange degreaser. I'm going to spray this directly on the tire. You can scrub tires with the W6, but it's a much more expensive product, and the 3D is relatively inexpensive, so I'm just going to use it for the yellow degreaser for the tires. Now for the tires, I'm going to give it a pretty decent and pretty aggressive scrubbing, because I'm trying to break loose contaminants, and you can see how it's already foaming up around. Getting tires really clean, oftentimes you're going to have to do multiple rounds of cleaning in order to get them really clean. So one other thing I wanted to add, especially as I've got a little bit of sun here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mist the wheel with a little bit of water so that it doesn't dry to the surface while my W6, and I know that does dilute it slightly, but I don't want the cleaner to dry on there. For the purpose of a video, I did this in direct sunlight. Normally I would try to rotate the car at the very least to where I'm out of direct sunlight. So first of all, I'm going to take my long-haired brush and I'm going to get in where the lug nuts are here. While I'm doing this, I will add that the absolute best way to clean a wheel is to jack up the car or put it on a lift and remove the wheel. We might actually show a video of that later on, but most people do not have the time, energy, resources, or desire to do that. So we're going to do this one wheel on. So here I'm just trying to get into some of the nooks and crannies that would not normally be touched with a wash mitt. So after that, I'm going to take, first of all, I'm going to take my large wheel woolly. I'm going to scrub the interior of the barrels. I really need to pull these wheels and take off some of this adhesive from all the weights and stuff like that. And then where the brake caliper is, I'm going to take a smaller wheel woolly brush and get in there, because the large one is going to be stopped by that. And then as my last step, I'm going to take my dedicated wheel wash mitt and just go ahead and touch everything again with this, just because sometimes the brush does not do an adequate job of removing everything. Okay, now we are going to thoroughly rinse. Look down here, you can see the puddle of red where the W6 broke down the iron particles that were on the wheel. Now we can towel it dry, use compressed air. You can put some waxes, yeah, you can put them on wheels. Wheel coatings, ceramic coatings are really the best thing to put on there. You can put the faces on and apply it to the faces fairly easy. What I would do is dry it, panel wipe, put something like C5 wheel armor on. The best way to apply a ceramic coating to a wheel, again, pull it off the vehicle, do a really deep in-depth cleaning, clay bar it, use your iron remover multiple times, use a tar remover to remove any tar from the wheel, panel wipe it, and get as much off of there as humanly possible. But just in that process that I showcased with the 3D yellow degreaser and the W6 is going to be more thorough, much more thorough and much more in-depth than simply using soap and water. And for most wheels that haven't been heavily neglected, it's going to get you a really great result.